Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Bill.
Today we're chatting about how your perception of life changes as you age. And I think that this is one of these subjects that the older you are, the more you're going to be nodding your head and going, oh, yes. And the younger you are, the more you're going to be going, what's she talking about?
Yeah, that's the manana syndrome. Yeah, actually, it's a very good topic because I think a lot of people, and probably everyone, realizes that they are getting older. As each day goes by, you're a day older. As each year goes by, you're a year older. Some of us pay attention to that. Some of us don't pay attention to that. But the fact is, you are getting older. And as a result of that, your lifestyle, how you live your life changes. Now, obviously, things like physical ability can change. In other words, if you ran a marathon when you were age 25, you may not be able to do it if you're age 65. So there are physical, biological issues associated with it. But I also think that there are, I don't know if they're psychological, but just everyday things that you think about differently, you see things differently, you approach life differently. And that is maybe not a function of getting older, but it's a byproduct, I think, of getting older.
Well, I have to agree with you. And I think the other thing that's really fascinating here is how unexpected, how your tastes and the things that you like to do, the people that you want to spend time with change as you age, as you've had more and more experiences. Now, you would think that this was dead obvious because obviously when you're a little kid, you like to run around, you like to eat a lot of sugar, you like to play all day. And by the time you're 70, maybe it's not just that your body isn't up to that anymore. Maybe you actually have different interests in life. And one of the problems that people encounter can be that they have ceased enjoying the things that they've been doing for a long time, but they haven't really dug down inside themselves and tried some new things and explored to see what it is that they would really like now.
Well, I think it's experience. It's the experiences of life. In other words, I think as you get older, then obviously you go further to look backwards, and the more ability you have to look backwards, then the more information you have. That's just common sense. Okay, if you can only look back 10 years, you've got 10 years worth of data. If you look back 50 years, you've got 50 years of data. And for some of us, it might even be longer than that. But anyway, that's a different question. The ability to bring your experience to your life today and tomorrow. In other words, you can look at anything basically and say, yeah, I did that when I was a teenager, or yeah, I've done that, didn't like it, not going to do that again. That's experience. You're bringing your experiences into your life today to make decisions about what you're going to do today or what you're going to do in the future. What are you going to do next week, etc. Where am I going to go on vacation? Well, I remember many years ago we went to Mexico or something like that. It was okay, but we've done that, so therefore going ahead, going to go back to Mexico. Unfortunately, sorry about that, Mexico, but that just as an example.
Well, yes, you're right. But here's the other thing about all of this. If you're trying to judge whether you would like something you've never tried before based on historic experience, you may be missing out on some great opportunities, and you may be judging things in a way that's, forgive me, all wrong. Great example of this. If you're somebody who had never learned to type, had never had an office job where those kinds of things were required, well, if somebody told you that you could research any topic in the world simply by using the internet, your initial reaction might well be, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, no, that sounds like work. Oh, I wouldn't enjoy that, until you have the thrill of realizing that you can watch a live concert anywhere in the world from the comfort of your living room.
Well, also I've got another example, a very good friend of mine who's a few years older than me. who actually lives in Mexico. So it's me trying to get back out of my points about Mexico. He lives in Mexico. And, you know, I said to him, you know, he doesn't come from Mexico. Let's just say he's European. And he moved to Mexico several years ago. And I said to him back then, why did you go to Mexico? And he said, I just want to learn to speak Spanish. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. I said, well, why are you doing that now? He said, well, because I always led a very, very busy life. And he said, I never had the opportunity or the time to learn Spanish. Now that I'm older, and, you know, I suppose one could say retired, but now that I'm older, I have the time. Therefore, I thought, well, the best way to learn Spanish is to go to a Spanish-speaking country. And he decided he would go to Mexico. And he loves it. It's fantastic. Because that ability to use your previous experiences of not being able to do something moves ahead as you move ahead, as you get older, basically. And you've now got that opportunity to say, yeah, really, you know what, I'm going to do things that I never had the time, or I never had the inclination, or I never had the knowledge, or I never had the experience, or I never had X, Y, and Z. But now I do. Now I do. Therefore, my life is changing. My lifestyle is changing simply because I now can do these sort of things.
And if you're super old, the thing you might add to that list is A, if not now, when, or if you're a little more gutsy, you might say to yourself, well, why the heck not? Well, if you're still listening, we must have said something helpful or insightful. So please subscribe to our channel and we'll chat with you again soon.